Today we're going to talk about how to use section views. Section views become pretty important, in particular with cylindrical objects, but they also help us when dimensioning. If you look, this view is a section view, and this view is a top view, and could also be used as a side view because of the cylinder. If we try to dimension these, we have a lot of hidden lines going on in here. So typically we use that section view. And the section view also gives us a better idea of these counterbores that are happening in here. So let's show you how to do it. So I'm going to start with a new IDW, and I'm going to pull up that base view. So I'm going to go through and navigate through my folders here and find the part that I want to dimension. And I'll just drag it over here. Then I'll go ahead and use the triangles and project. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and set the scale down though to 1 to 1.5. Click OK. Now I can kind of drag these around so they'll look a little better. And remember, we always want to try to use the shaded view on this isometric part. So I went and double clicked it, went over to style and click shaded. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to take each view and I'm going to put the automated center marks in. So I'll right click after I hover over it. Notice the red box popped up. So right click, go to automated center lines right here, kind of in the middle. And I want to click the cylinder under apply to. And under projection, I want to click both options. So you can see all my center marks have appeared. I'm going to go up here and do this view as well. So right click on it, go to automated center lines, apply to, and do the cylinder. And then for projection, make sure you select both and then click OK. Now I've already decided that this view, this top view, and this side view are essentially the exact same view. So I'm going to go ahead and right click on this one and delete it. And it's going to ask me, basically this is a confirmation. I'm going to go ahead and create that section view. So section views really aren't all that difficult. There's just some extra clicking involved. I'm still on the Place Views tab. Here's Base, remember. I'm going to go right over here to where it says Section. So now I'm going to show you how to do that section view. And I'm going to go here to Section. I'll click on the drawing I want to do the section view of. And I'm just going to draw a line through it. Whether I go left or right tells which way I'm going to be looking at this section view. So I'm going to right click now. And I'm going to hit Continue. And then I'll just pull it over here somewhere. And left click to place it. So there you can see there's my section view. It shows me exactly where I took it from, and it tells me I'm looking at this side of things. Now also on this section view though, I probably want to go ahead and I'll right click on it and do the automated center lines and go ahead and apply to cylinder and then make sure both are under projection. And you can see it puts my center lines in. So now I'm going to zoom in a little bit and figure out what do I need here to dimension. So I'm going to go to annotate, and I know that I have holes here. This is actually two holes because it's a counterbore. I can tell it's a counterbore by looking right here at the section view. So there's a counterbore means we have a place for the head of the bolt to go, and then usually a through hole for the shaft. So I clicked on hole and thread notes, and I'm going to go ahead and click the inside circle. I'm going to have to zoom in a little more. And that one tells me it's a diameter of 0.25 and it's 1 inch through. And I'll click this outside, and that tells me the diameter of that hole as well as the depth of that. And then from here, it's a matter of just going to dimension because the rest are just solid circles. So I'm going to click the outer one, and that's a 3-inch circle. Click right inside here. This is actually a hole here, so I'll go back to hole and thread and place that one down there. And then this outer one, this is more of a solid object, so I'm just going to click there and kind of drag that out. So now I probably want to escape out, so I'm not in dimension mode anymore, and I'm going to double click on this 0.35, the 0.15, and I'm going to type in TYP here because that is typical of that particular circle or that particular hole. I'm going to do the same thing on the 0.25, and that eliminates me having to go around every single one of these and dimension those. Now I'm taking a look at some other dimensions here. let's see, I'm going to use baseline because, as I've established before in some other videos, I think that's a little easier to work with. So I'm going to click baseline in, click this line, and this line, and then right click and say continue, and then just kind of drag these out and left click. Now I need to remember, because I'm using baseline, I need to right click again and say create. So now I'm taking a look. I want to dimension from here to the center marks of all of these. I need to locate those, don't I? Easier way to do that would probably be using this section view right here. Rather than use the baseline like we had, I could just actually go to dimension and say, all right, from the center mark to the center mark of that is 1.15. And then really from the center mark to the edge is 1.5, which we would expect to be true, right? Because the overall circle is 3 inches. All we're doing here is kind of locating and saying that that is in the dead center of this object. Another thing we have to do is we need to dimension this fillet in here. Fillets really require you to zoom in, because if you see right here, you see how I've got this green dot clicked? If I try to dimension that, it's not going to let me. I'm going to just try to click the arc itself, so you can see how there's just a red line there. That's what I'll actually click. And I'll place it up here. Now, 0.13 is not something we would normally use. That's obviously rounded up. So to fix that, because that number should be 0.125, to fix that, I'm going to double click that dimension, and I'm going to go to primary units here. Now, by default, yours might just show up as text to let you type like the typical or the all. You actually click precision and tolerance here. You'll go to primary unit, and you'll just choose the one that has 3 decimal places. And then that will change this over to 0.125. And we could do the same thing with others if we needed to. So if we zoom out, now we have our dimensions that we need, and we have a section view. And that section view kind of shows us exactly what those holes would look like.